All right, so now I wanted to show you this product because my goal is to tell you guys and to show you guys what you can make out of your own house, as I mentioned, but you also have the option of co-packers. So co-packers are a tricky thing, okay? I want you to understand this. If you don't control your kitchen, you don't control your business. That's number one. What does that mean? That means you will have issues with a co-packer. What does an issue look like? An issue looks like this. They want to save money. They don't want to buy sugar anymore because you give them a recipe, you tell them how to make the product, you give them the packaging, or you tell them what the packaging is, and they make it for you. So sometimes a co-packer will use different ingredients to save money, right? So sugar is one of them. Some sort of fructose liquid. What the hell is it called? Syrup, right? Different syrups they'll use instead of healthy sweeteners, right? Or something like that. They can also mess up packaging. They can mess up a lot of things. But the only other option, once you get big, and this is, don't worry about this now, but you should always think about the future without question, right? On day one, when I made my first peanut butter jar, I started thinking about how can I make 10,000 a month, okay? So one day, either you are going to have your own production line, whatever that looks like, depends on what you make, right? For making like barbecue sauce in little bottles, you're gonna need a production line or a co-packer. You'll most likely want a co-packer instead of buying this huge and this huge production line and investing a bunch of money, finding investors and so on. So I just want to tell you that a co-packer is not a bad option, and that's why I'm showing you this product, okay? So this is like a carb-free chips, right? These are Parmesan chips. I like them. They're salty, but there's no carbs, so whatever, right? But this is in Costco. This is in a lot of different stores. Super popular. You guys have probably seen them. Okay. So if you want to make a product and you say, I don't want to do anything at home. I don't want to do anything at home, but I want to make like these protein cakes or these protein cookies or this these Parmesan crisps / chips. Who do I call, right? So this is just an example. These are some co-packers. Go on Google, type in chips co-packers. You call these guys, right? Here, you have the email, whatever, the URL here. So you can look up these guys and call them. So what you do with co-packers, you call them and tell them what you're trying to make. You send them the recipe, you send them the picture, you send them the packaging, you ask them how much, right? They're probably going to tell you some quantities, some minimums and things like that, which is fine. And that's up for negotiation as well, because a co-packer, they have companies that make stuff for, right? They might even have their own brand. It doesn't matter to them. It's all money, right? Their production line is a part of their business. It's an asset. That's what they use to make money. So the more stuff they make, the better. So having a co-packer means that you're building a relationship. So these guys, if you do your job right, and doing your job right is saying like, hey, this is a business I'm all in on, just starting out. I'm not having huge quantities that I need. I fully understand it's below your minimum. But these guys need to build relationships. And I have done this, okay? I have done this where somebody told me they have a certain minimum. And I just told them like, hey, I'm getting into stores. I have crazy traffic online. I have crazy sales online. This is going to be big. Just for this starting period, can we do something less? Because I had no need to make massive amounts of quantities. So their minimums are up for negotiation if you tell them the story the right way. Okay, so I have no idea what these minimums are. I just know there's a lot of companies that will make your product for you. Okay, so just Google whatever type of product, co-packer, and you will get a list. This is just for chips. I'm sure there's many more, right? There's private label, co-packing. There's everything, right? There's everything. You reach out to them, you reach out to them, you send them the product, you send them the recipe, the packaging. Basically, the question is, what do you charge me? How much? That's it. How much for me to come? How much for you to ship 10,000 of these chips to Whole Foods or to my house or wherever? How much does that cost? That's it. That's what it comes down to. It's that simple. Make this. What is it going to cost me? Okay. So if you guys do decide to go with a product that's a little bit more complex, you do have the option of a co-packer. Once again, these are just companies that do nothing other than make the product and you pay them for it. It's probably a little bit more expensive, but it's still expensive for you to hire somebody and so on and so on. So it can definitely be a good deal. All right. Let's go to the next store. Let's go to the next products.